I was talking to a guy from Ontario here the other day, and he had a pretty interesting thought. You know that story about the guy that worked for GM, and when he was at home in his garage, he invented the intermittent windshield wipers?
Yeah.
And there was a ruling that it was that he owned the invention because he did it on his own time. And then there's the case where the guy that worked for the Pfizer Pharmaceuticals came up with the hard-on pills while he was at work, so that invention belonged to the pharmaceutical company.
Right.
How does that work with the birth certificate? Would that not mean that man owns the birth certificate?
But why would you want to bear liability?
Ooh, good point.
All your countries run in debt for a reason. So they don't have to share the profit of the resources of the land. They're always in constant debt. See, Dean Clifford kept saying to everybody, well, we can claim the natural resources of the land. We could claim the profits. We should be able to share in. Right?
Mm-hmm.
These huge companies make all these huge profits and everything, right? Every year exporting fucking oil out of Canada, timber. We should all fucking be sharing in there, right? We should all be using our birth certificate to acquire some of the wealth that, the government creates, that the government's acquiring, right? That's basically his spiel. That's basically his spiel. Other people's spiel. If that's not exactly his, I've heard that fucking rhetoric. Why do you think Canada and the United States always make sure they're always in the red every year? So they don't have to share any of the profits with the people. And the people are always in debt. The birth certificate makes you pay the burden of the debt, of the national debt, of your people, of your land. If the government actually broke zero one year, or actually was in a black, and actually was making a profit every year, then they would have to pass on the profit to the people. Get everybody in the country, like they were doing in Libya, everybody was getting a profit sharing every year. Gaddafi was buying them all brand new cars, brand new houses. Everybody had an education. Everybody in Libya all had free education for life. Why? Because he was pulling the oil out of the land, the people of the land to the same. So he was taking the profits that he was getting from selling the oil from the land. He was distributing the wealth back to the people. You think the people in Canada or the United States, if they ever caught wind what Gaddafi was doing, you don't think they'd say to Canada or the United States, hey, whoa, wait a second, if Gaddafi could do it, why can't we do it? If this one man, not a huge bureaucracy, one man, to provide housing, cars, food, shelter, and education for all his people, why can't these huge bureaucracies in the United States or Canada, why can't we do it? He's telling one man who's supposed to be a second-grade education, second-grade education, lived in a mud hut his whole life, sprung out of the desert out of the middle of nowhere, can't read or write. If he could fucking pull this little miracle off, what the fuck is your central government's fucking major malfunction?
That's why he had to go.
He had to go. If this simple guy could fucking create such wealth for his people, what the fuck is the Canadian and the United States government's problem?
Yeah, he was even saving all the other countries around him, digging irrigation ditches, bringing water to the desert. What a bad guy.
Right. He was making a continental superhighway.
The first thing they did. Yeah, the first thing they did after he died is they put a Rothschild central bank in.
Yes. I guaranteed all his projects of creating monorails across Africa and highways across Africa and waterworks across Africa. I guarantee they shut that down in a heartbeat. They were like, no, we'll let you people know when you can progress. Just like I said when I told that Vice Premier of Canada. He says, no, we'll let the Canadian people know when they can progress. We'll let them know. We'll control them. We'll control the growth rate. We'll let them know when they can advance. We'll give the technology to them when we think it's time for them to have it. Like I said, people just like to micromanage. They're bored out of their fucking minds, man. They don't want for anything.
Yeah, that guy, he's going to retire soon. I guess he's got a lot of money coming, and he's scared that Canada Revenue is going to take his money. So he wanted me to find out the best way he could get a hold of you.
Oh, all right. Well, just tell him to give me a call.
All right.
But like I said, that's what's funny, too, is just like I said. I mean, Dean Clifford had a good thought, and it all makes sense to a lot of people. You know, why? What's with the birth certificate? You know, why not get rid of it? Why? Because when your country runs into the block and they get a ton of money coming to them, you could be the one with your hand out, say, hey, where's my cut? Where's my share? Right now, there's always a debt. Obviously, you can't say, where's my share? But what the government can do is they can come to you and say, oh, you got to pay your share of the national debt. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Sometimes the government is going to cut you a check because we're all going to share in the profits. And sometimes we're going to lose, just like Gaddafi would have done. Gaddafi would have said, hey, guys, you can't give out free cars this year. Can't give out free houses. You know what? Oil collapsed. Honestly, that's all we got. Maybe next year will be better. And his people would have understood. He said, okay. And he said, well, honestly, we actually all have to pay a little bit this year. We all have to pay an extra $1,000 this year. I'm sorry, guys, but you know what? You know, in times of plenty, I gave. Now, in times of few, we've all got to tighten our belts a little bit. And the people would have done it. But these governments, these like this United States or these Canadian governments, they tell the people, we're always in the debt. We always can't. We can never, you know, create a profit. We're always going to be full because of look at all the wonderful things we give to the people.
Makes me think about
what I'm saying. The United States, and then we'd say, look at all the free houses and the free cars and the free medical we give to all the United States people, just like Gaddafi does. This money kind of comes from somewhere. And the American people say, wait a second, you don't give us anything free. What the fuck are you talking about? I say, oh, that's right, we don't, do we? We just fuck you people, don't we? Oh, that's right, we start another war someplace and say, dump $1 trillion in the middle of the desert somewhere and say, well, we had to save you because they want to invade your shopping malls.
Yeah, since the 19th or the 18th of this month, or no, the 8th of this month, they've dropped 600 bombs in Iraq.
Yeah, on a
like what, $100,000 a bomb, probably more than that.
Yeah, like I said, just destroying wealth. Any way they could just take your tax money and just fucking bury it in the sand in Iraq, they're going to do it. They're just going to take it and destroy it. They're just going to take your money and just piss it away.
Wow.
So laugh. I just laugh at them. I say, what are you going to do with my money? Oh, don't you worry about it. Oh, you're just going to take a bomb and blow it up, so I'm going to work my whole life so you can buy one bomb. Yep. And you can just drop it off in the middle of the desert in the sand somewhere. Yep. And that's okay. You're going to take my house, my car, and everything because I owe you $100,000. And you're going to dump it in the desert somewhere. Yep. So that's exactly what's going to do with your money. And I say to everybody, until you learn how to be a man, I'm glad they do it to you. And I hope they keep doing it to you until you wake up. I say no more. It's going to take a long time, man. But like I said, the only way, I said to my sister, any of this shit's ever going to work with the stuff I do is in a time of like a Great Depression until people wake up. Until the people realize, holy shit, what happened? And then they'll say, hey, there's a guy named Carl. What? There's an Uncle Remus motherfucker out there. He'll tell you what the fuck happened. They'll say, well, why didn't we know this? Well, because Mommy and Daddy were busy trying to get snowmobiles, matching snowmobiles, and they wanted a parasail off of the fucking coast of France last year. So Mommy and Daddy were too busy fucking acquiring crack to tell us what the fuck the real deal was.
Working overtime to go on that luxury vacation.
Yeah, but they had to have.